Ooh, look at my glasses. Jesus. Let's just take those off. So, welcome to live from Will's Gayrodge on location to the craft room. And the reason we're on location, I was pointed out that, how can this be live from Will's Gayrodge if I'm not in my garage? Well, it's getting hot in the garage, and instead of it being 110 degrees in the garage, it's a nice balmy 76 in the house. So, not why we're live from Will's craft room instead of Will's Gayrodge. We might be live from Will's craft room until the fall. Oh, ooh. So as you can tell and probably hear, I have a nice frog in my throat because I've been sick the past 2 weeks. I don't know if you could hear it on my live from the Magic Kingdom, but it was pretty rough there. I felt like I was yelling to try to be heard. And I was probably yelling because I was trying to be heard over everything else. So, as always, we're going to believe in the trifecta that we're going to treat everybody fair, equal, and with dignity and respect. And we're going to make sure that we don't have the government telling us what to think, how to talk, how to act, and how to feel, because that's compelled speech, right? So this is uncompelled, coming from Will's gut, whatever. And this week, actually, I have no notes because I couldn't really think of anything. I've been sick, and that's one of the things that I find comes from being sick is just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think well when I'm sick. But so let's talk about. I'm just gonna kind of free flow it today because I don't have any notes or like an agenda or anything. But I'm gonna start with Elon Musk buying Twitter. and I need to write that down because that's actually kind of funny to me. I did think of something this week that I wanted to talk about, and I think it's probably really fucking inappropriate, but I don't care because it's the truth. Let's see, Will Smith, and I believe it was Chris Rock. Yeah, so Elon Musk buying Twitter. I've heard, people are like, oh my God, he's gonna allow, Trump to come back on and all this other nice happy shit, and we need to keep we need to keep the ban on hate speech and blah blah blah. And let me tell you something. This is like, who are you protecting? Really, if we say that we're gonna ban hate speech on Twitter, who are you protecting? Do you not realize that somebody who truly wants to have these thoughts and wants to gather people aren't going to gather them in private? They're the secret handshake, the super secret knock on the clubhouse to get in and then talk about the same stuff that they were had on Twitter. Oh, so it's not as broad or whatever. I would rather know. I honestly would rather know who hates me to my face than to try to guess behind my back, because now these people don't have access to their megaphones. And here's the other thing is when you start banning people from Twitter because you don't like what they're saying, you embolden them and you embolden their followers. And what's funny about that is, let's take for instance Donald Trump. Donald Trump was, a Twitter nightmare. I've even said a couple of times, like, can you just get off your Twitter and leave the country, please? But I don't think that it's actually Donald Trump on his Twitter. I think he's got, I don't think that he's that narcissistic. I know he's a narcissist, but I don't think he's that narcissistic. I think he's got somebody that's like, hey, pop another crazy tweet off, and so they pop another crazy tweet off, because people were paying attention to his tweets and not what he was doing, and that was one of the brilliant strategies of the Donald Trump presidency was he had people paying more attention to his Twitter account than what he was actually doing in the White House. And he did a lot of amazing things in the White House because people weren't focusing on what he was doing in the White House. They were focusing on his Twitter account, and you know, so for the next 10 years, historically black colleges, or, you know, black colleges that have historically been, you know, owned, operated, patroned by black people, no longer have to go to the government every year and ask for their grants. They get it free and clear for the next 10 years, because that's what Donald Trump did. So you know, why am I going down this road? Well, because the idiots that wanted Donald Trump banned from Twitter, so he created his own account, right? The Freedom Tweet, or whatever the hell that shit's called, right? I don't care, because I'm not going to go on it. But boy, you leftists sure didn't you? You went right on it to find out what he was tweeting about. Why do you care? Why do you care what he's tweeting about? Why don't you just let him go on his new platform and tweet, or, you know, say whatever he wants to say, and who cares? You went anyway, so now you're giving him ad revenue. Like, do you not see that you're just feeding right into what he wanted? So if we would have kept him on Twitter, you know, at least the people that we like could have kept their ad revenue, right? Because he's on Twitter. We know what he's saying. We at least can kind of keep him compartmentalized to Twitter, and keep going from there. But no. So when Elon Musk bought Twitter, and now people are like, oh my God, you know, free speech on Twitter. Yeah, actually, let's go back to free speech on Twitter. Let's actually practice what we preach. Can we do that? If we say that we're a country of free speech, then by God, if it's the most vile, disgusting, nasty thing that you've ever said, and you want to say it, then say it. Let them say it. Because at least I know to my face who the asshole is. I don't have to worry about it behind my back. I don't have to worry about behind my back whether it's gonna, you know, I know to keep my my defenses up around this person, because this person is obviously, according to their Twitter, an idiot. But no, you want to silence them, so that now we need to be very careful, because we don't know, oh, who is that guy? Who's that guy? We don't know, because, oh yeah, that's right, we banned them from platforms because we don't like what they say. My God, I mean, it sounds like when did children started running the government instead of it being a rational, logical adults that, you know, it's funny how some of my gay friends, well, my alphabet friends, I'm just going to throw alphabet friends out there because, you know, they're more alphabet than they are gay. You know, my alphabet friends talk about how, you know, oh, it's hate speech and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other thing. But yet one of the biggest gay advocates that we've had ever is RuPaul. And RuPaul says, what other people think of me is none of my damn business. Because he's right. What you think of me is none of my damn business. Now, if you're going to get on my Facebook, or by the way, this will be my last Facebook Live. I've finally gotten up to 50 followers. I've done the research that's required, and I know what I have to do. I will now be going live starting next week. Well, actually, after today, if I do one of my little minute clinics, I'll do that from YouTube as well. But this will be my last Facebook Live, because I want to reach a broader constituency, and shitbook isn't it. So, yeah, but, you know, I can just hear my alphabet friends, like, you know, you know, hate speech this and hate speech that. If we truly believe in like the values that people like RuPaul put out, where, like, you know, what other people think of me is none of my damn business, then why do we care? Why do we care? You know, we worry so much about what other people are doing, and we don't worry near about as much as what we are doing. And we aren't doing enough, in my opinion. Because if we were truly doing enough, let's stop talking and let's start acting. So let's actually go out into the alphabet community and find out why there's such a high suicide rate in the transgender community, and actually get them help. Let's actually deal with it as a mental health issue instead of let's not say that because, you know, we don't want people to think well, you know what, it's a mental health issue, right? As a veteran, I have no problems coming out and saying that I have PTSD, that I have mental health issues. Why? Because I want treatment for them. And if somebody is trying to kill themselves or thinking about suicide, then that's a mental health issue and they need help for it. But and that's not to say that that because you're transgender you have a mental health issue. But if you're thinking about killing yourself, you sure as fuck do. And if there's a lot of suicide ideation in the transgender community, then we need to get them mental health help. And stop making it a stigma. You're only making it a stigma because you think that there's a stigma behind it. There's not. Stop it. God, I swear. Like, again, when did children start running the world and adults not? I will tell you that one of my next lives, because it's going to be coming from YouTube instead of Facebook. One of my next lives, I'm actually going to go down my naval career, and I'm going to talk about the times that the government, well, on behalf of the government, not necessarily the government, because the government is kind of broad, right? But on behalf of the government, members of my chain of command at one point in time or another violated the don't ask, don't tell policy. Came straight out and asked me one time. Like just the different times that I can remember, having to deal with the don't ask, don't tell policy, and then I have guys like Kerry Quarter saying he'd love to take me out to sea and be a flight deck chief or a desk chief or something like that because I'm fucking good at my damn job. Isn't that interesting? How my sexual preference has nothing to do with my ability to fucking be a goddamn good maintainer, right? But yet there are those out there that want to say that being gay is the only thing that defines them and everything else is just irrelevant. Well, you're an idiot. I'm sorry, you're an idiot. And it's time that we start telling people that you're idiots. If you think that the only thing that defines you is your sexual preference, then my God, you know what? We need people out there like Donald Trump on Twitter calling us fucking stupid. We don't deserve any kind of latitude and accolade that we get, because if we think that the only thing that defines us is our sexual orientation or our sexual preference, then God help us. Well, how did we get this far? But anyway, no. So Elon Musk taking over Twitter, I think it's going to be a good thing. I think that, so here's the thing. Here's why I think people hate the idea of Elon Musk buying Twitter. I think they hate the idea of Elon Musk buying Twitter the same as they hated the idea of Donald Trump being president. Is Elon Musk isn't in the back pocket of politicians. He's just not. He's going to do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and whether you like it or not. He's Elon Musk. Just like Donald Trump's going to do whatever the fuck he wants to do, whether you like it or not, because he's Donald Trump. Right? Which is the highest level of narcissist that any of these, you know what? Because Nancy Pelosi is going to do whatever the fuck Nancy Pelosi wants to do because she's Nancy Pelosi. And the only reason that she keeps getting voted in is because nobody is willing, nobody in California likes that bitch. I'll tell you right now. Nobody in California likes that bitch, but nobody's willing to vote in somebody else because they're like, well, at least it's the crazy we fucking know. So here's my chuckle, and here's where I lose everybody, but I don't care. So, and yes, I'm going to go back to the Oscars. I know people are probably tired of hearing it, but stick with me because it's funny and it's worth it, right? So every time we say black on black crime, people look at white people and say, "Oh my God, you're fucking racist! Black on black crime, blah 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 blah," right? But isn't it funny how finally the left had to actually acknowledge black on black crime, because Will Smith smacked the shit out of fucking Chris Rock, didn't he? And then just like in the black community, nothing was really fucking done about it. Oh, we talked about it for a minute or two. We said how socially unacceptable it was, but did we do anything about it? Fuck no. Is Will Smith being arrested and tried with assault and battery? Nope. But yet $5 says the left is going to say, "Oh my God, smacking is horrible. We should ban fucking hands." So there, we actually got to see live and in person on the Oscars black on black crime. And we also got to see how the left was mortified but didn't do shit about it. The right's just like, okay, and it happens every day in Chicago. It happens every day in downtown Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, DC, Chicago. Y'all don't give a fuck about it then. Oh, but that's right. It's the gun's fault, right? It's guns' fault. Oh, or it's Indiana's fault because Indiana didn't pass gun crime legislation or gun restriction legislation like Illinois did. It's Indiana's fault. It's not the systemic problem with a certain community. And that makes me racist. I don't give a shit. It's showing and continuing to show a broader American perspective that we don't give a fuck about anything other than saying if it's not white, it's not right. I'm the problem with everything in the world because evil white guy, gay, fat, diabetic. Let's see, veteran. What else? Where else am I a minority that I can throw in there? But it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm not Christian, so I can't be a wasp. Oh, but I do have a cock and balls, so that makes me 100% the problem. Unless I identify as a woman, then I'm completely 100% okay with. God, who was it? Charlie. I know most people don't like any of these conservative leaning talking heads, but Charlie Cook said something the other day that just blew me away, that until feminists define what being a woman is, he wishes them the best of luck living under the tyranny of men who call themselves women. This shit blew me away. I was like, if you're not going to define what a woman is, then how can you fight for anything women's rights if you can't define what a woman is? Like there's a whole bunch of commonality with my lives, I guess, because I'm just kind of sick of it. I'm kind of sick of all this crap. A friend of mine sent a text message the other day that said, he needed to call me, and I'm almost afraid that I'm going to hear him tell me that we're not going to be friends anymore, which really is not going to be that big of a deal. But we can't be friends anymore because of the rhetoric that I'm spouting. And I really don't think it's rhetoric. I think it's a lot of it's truth. Doesn't make you feel good, well then it's probably not rhetoric. Because what I find for a lot of people is the truth hurts. The truth hurts people's feelings, man. Doesn't it though? So anyway, guys, my throat's killing me. I need to go take some, comments aside, jokes aside. From a cold, I've been coughing my head off, so my throat is very scratchy and irritated and sore. And as you can hear, it's not the best. So I'm gonna go give it a rest. Again, this will be the last live that I do from Facebook. From now on, my lives will be coming from YouTube, and I will be trying a YouTube video here in a second just to see if that works. So until then, I will again download this video and stick it on YouTube as a live from Will's Gayrodge. But until then, you guys stay classy, and I'll see you on the backside.